Hello, Pisces. Welcome to your reading. My name is Jessica, and this is Temperance Tarot. This is a general reading, and it is for all placements. This message is from your higher self, and it is for the week of the 22nd to September 29. All right, Pisces. So, as I was tapping into your energy for this reading, I feel that you're someone that tends to kind of fall into the seasons. What do I mean by that? Let's go with these three. What do I mean by that? I mean, you kind of feel everything that is going on around you, right? So we're about to step into this fall season, and what happens in the fall? Everything kind of seems to die. This is why people start experiencing some seasonal depression, and people start to kind of begin to get the holiday blues. Um, and I'm not saying that you're someone that experiences this, but I do feel that you're very sensitive to what's going on around you. And as I was getting ready to do your reading, I was looking at my screen, and I have a picture of my golden retriever on my screen, and she's sitting and she's posing, and behind her there's a bunch of flowers. And I felt like spirit was telling me to let you know that fall doesn't have to represent death. It doesn't have to represent, the falling of what no longer is living. Um, Even though fall can bring some closing of some chapters, there's also things that bloom in the fall. And spirit led me to look up some of the flowers that actually bloom, maybe throughout the year, but also during the fall. And a couple of ones that stood out were the African daisy, the petunias, sunflowers, salvia, and I believe there was the Russian sage. Okay. So I think one of the reasons why Spirit was highlighting these flowers, maybe you're around them, maybe you're someone that loves to go out and maybe take some nature walks and just look at the blooming of the flowers. And I know, for the most part, spring is when we see most of the blooming. I know I experience that because I get horrible allergies. Um, but Spirit is encouraging you to, during this time, during this season, don't go out there looking for the things that are dying. There is a lot that blooms during this season as well. So I'm also kind of hearing that maybe it's time to change the narrative, change your story. Pisces, I don't know if you have certain expectations, or you see things in a way where you're just kind of like, well, this is what always happens, so I'm just assuming this is what's going to happen. I feel like spirit is encouraging you to start to change that, change the narrative, because I have here, we have the Eight of Cups at the center of your reading. And I don't know, this just seems like a very negative and heavy card for some reason. I don't know if you can see it, but what I'm seeing is that there's just this set belief that you have that things are going to always be how they are right now. So I feel that you have the Five of Discs and the Ten of Wands. And these two cards, this one is called the Worry, and this one is called Oppression. I, I'm really feeling that these two, I don't know if you're struggling with anxiety. I don't know if there's just a lot going on around you. I mean, there's a lot going on in the world right now that could be, might be playing a role into what you're feeling right now. Um, but you have these two cards here. You have the 10 of disc and the princess of swords. So I know that things seem very difficult and things seem almost kind of hopeless, but when you look deeper, there's there is hope. There is something that is beginning to grow. There's something that is about to start blooming, really. So the things that are dying are the things that are meant to, it's their season, it's their time. But there's something else blooming. And some of them might just be at the beginning stages, but then there's something also that you've been harvesting throughout the year. And it's like, this is harvest season. This is like, this is ready to be picked very, very soon. Um, we have the two of disc. I felt led to pull this. So this is about making a choice, and this is about you choosing whether you're going to look at it in the negative or in the positive. This is you changing. I mean, this is literally called change, changing the narrative, changing your story. Maybe things have looked a certain way for years, but it doesn't have to continue looking that way. You have the power to change it. You have the power to create something, and you have the power to go out and looking for what's blooming instead of for what's dying. Seasons come and go, but what we make of them is what really matters. We can't stop Mother Nature, right? We can't stop the seasons, but how we respond to them is what really matters. You know, I know some people really like to, you know, believe that seasonal depression is just, it's just something that happens. And maybe in some way it does, because in the winter we get a little less sunshine, and the nights seem to be longer, and it's understandable, but we still get light. There is, hours of the day we get light, and we can go out there and embrace the sun, right? It's not 24-hour darkness. So again, it's about, how are we going to let this affect us? What do we have? What control do we have over how, the situation is going to affect us? All right. So for your higher self message, we have boundaries. Expect the unexpected. Yes. And pause. All right. So boundaries. I feel like these are going to be not necessarily boundaries, towards other people, but more about, how are you going to see it? And I love that. I never noticed it. I don't know why I never did, but one is dark and the other one's light. So I think this is you choosing between the shadow and the light. Okay. This is choosing between, am I going to look at this through a negative lens or a positive lens? This is you, choosing the perspective that you're going to take. And then for the expecting unexpected, I think this is what I was saying in the beginning of the reading, where you've always expected things to look a certain way. You've always, this is how it's always been. Well, how about we start waiting for something, maybe, giving the unexpected an opportunity, waiting for something to really, just kind of amaze us, you know. Um, I can't remember what movie it is. It's a kids movie, but I want to say it's Monster House, where, he's, oh no, it's sorry, I'm having a brain fart. It's The Incredibles. And he's Mr. Incredible's out in the front, And he's just like, what are you looking at? What are you waiting for? He's like, I don't know, maybe something exciting. And like, that's kind of what I feel like, you going out there, walking in nature, looking at, things like, I don't know, just wait for something exciting to happen to you. You just never know. You just never know. And just take a pause. I think that's going to be important. Don't go out there and just like try to get through the day, zoom through the day. Just have moments to pause and just look around, embrace what's around you, embrace beauty, embrace nature. Um, I don't know if you're someone that really is, drawn to flowers, but I'm really seeing you stopping and smelling the flowers, pausing and embracing nature and the sun and just taking it all in. You might be deficient in some vitamin D. I'm not a doctor. This isn't medical advice, but I'm just saying it doesn't hurt to check your levels and, taking some vitamin D because we get, like I said, in the fall and winter, we get a little less sun, and that can really deplete our vitamin D. So that might be something that you look into if you feel like you tend to fall into that seasonal depression. Maybe that's something you can look into. Again, I'm not a doctor. This isn't medical advice. Please always ask your doctor if you are feeling in any way, ill, or if there's anything. Please trust your doctor. All right. Okay. So Pisces, I hope this spoke to you. And if it did, please like and share. And I will see you guys